I was playing well along and I was really bored because that game is just boring. So it's like, let's play a better game. I'm really trying to like that game, but it's just so boring. So boring. What's up, Milagre? How you doing? Hold on, I can't see your message right now. Give me a sec. Hayabusa mod. Yeah, I might check that out. Yeah, I was trying to play well along. I was just getting bored. Game's just got no sweat to it. No sweat in that game. Just stand there and parry. That's all you can do. Very one-dimensional game, unfortunately. Like when people, the whole discourse with Lo Long, where it's like people say, you're supposed to be take your time and wait for the attacks. I'm like, well, they have stuff in the game. It seems to imply they don't want you to do that. The problem is that you can't cancel out of anything, so it does just evolve and just standing there and waiting. It's boring. There's only like one way to play it. Such a far cry from even Stranger in Paradise, which already was admittedly dumbed down, but that game has more mechanical depth than Lo Long does, which is sad. Because that game is still difficult, but it's very much simplified, because they don't want to scare off Final Fantasy players who understandably might not like that kind of game. Hardcore difficulty. That game has a lot more going on. It's got a lot of the same problems that Stranger in Paradise did at launch too. Like the loot sucks. The whole thing with that game is they said they were going to have like less loot, which is fine, but they made it like too hard to get anything. As soon as people said like, "Oh, I beat the whole game and I only got like 5 rare items," that's not right. It's not supposed to be that bad. There's no other Team Ninja action RPG that's like that. These gimmicks are getting, like, not fun. I'd have to just switch to the ice team and just nuke them all with Boom. I'm, like, not really enjoying these gimmicks they want me to do. A little annoying. Good, that was clean. Nice. Nice. And then the other two fire characters are pretty crappy. It's really Imperia that's making them even remotely relevant. Let's see what the gimmick is this time. Imperia is just busted and she's double S with signature weapon, so pretty decked out for a dolphin anyway. Not like whale level of decked out, but as good as it's gonna get for a light spender. Sweet. Imperia is so busted. Imperia is really good for anything that involves crowd control in particular, because you can just group everything together. Really generous hitbox in her attacks. She was well worth the investment. Probably spent maybe $30 to get a double S. Nuke them all. But Walgray, what emulator do you play this on? I should ask you that if you're still here, because it doesn't seem like the PC port's coming anytime soon. I was thinking of making guides and stuff for this, and it's kind of awkward to do it on the phone, especially because I don't have a lot of storage space for like long 20-minute HD videos. I do it on my computer. I don't know if I'll bother though. I'll probably just wait for the port to come out. BlueStacks is like the only non-shady one, but it runs like crap. I guess that's the catch. It doesn't do anything shady to your computer, but it doesn't run the game as well as less savory ones. Yeah. This is pissing me off already. I'm tired of the gimmicks. I don't want to do gimmicks. It's like Wo Long now. I gotta wait for them to attack. Stand there and wait. Thrilling. Wo Long style. wasn't too bad. But to adopt the go long play style, stand there and wait. Well, there you go. All clear. That's one thing done. What else we got today? I should get some Battle Pass puntos for that. 35 already out of 80. Okay, so go ahead and do Call of Duty Warzone and Pain Cage. Oh no, I'm already done with that. Let's go beat him up. Okay. What else is necessary to do? I think the new mode, like ending or whatever, is the branch or something of it is out. So I guess I'll check that out next. I don't want to do the material dungeon because I'm still short like 25 fatigue. Let's see here. Where's the thing that activates? March 8 at 10:30. I don't know what the hell time zone is. Does this game use UTC? Let's see. Oh, so I guess it's in an hour and a half for some reason. It's kind of weird. Some things in this game don't they don't like reset when the server resets. They reset at like random ass times. It's not really that big of a deal, but I was gonna do that. But I'm actually near the end of a run on that, so I don't want to play that right now. Actually, so ideally I can just do that run and finish that way. That's not going to be open for another week. I plowed through that in like 20 minutes. Okay, so what's left here? Just external reinforcement. That's done for the week. Check out the guild. Anything going on there? What is there? What is there to be apologized for? I offered you something and you didn't want it. I just offered you to game share. It's not like it's this big deal. You're fine. Also, my neighbor's brother was yelling, so I had to abruptly end that stream. It's nothing you did. You're fine. If you want to game share off my account, the door is always open. You don't have to do it. No one's forcing you to do anything. Either do it or don't. Not hurting my feelings or anything. I do offer that to trusted people in my community. Although, to be fair, I'm on there a lot more than I used to be because of the Steam Deck, so I don't know how useful it will be anyway. Before I got the Steam Deck, it was always like, hey, you got like 5 hours. Got a good 5-6 hours a day. You can play stuff. What's wrong with Shadow Play? Yeah, if you want a game share, you can. Just send me a text and I'll set it up for you. It's not a big deal. I'm not like intensely offended or anything. Just do it or don't. How far am I in this? I guess we can do a little bit of this for now. My thoughts on that game is it's just boring. It's just worse than Neo 2. Pretty much the only thing I think is really good about it is the jump button. The level design got a lot better because you can jump. And it's like the only thing I'd say is even remotely interesting about that game. It's just boring. It's too one-dimensional and stiff. It doesn't really have a lot to offer. And the PC port is garbage, so that's not helping that game's case. It's more just that you can't be aggressive in that game. It's the problem. You can't be aggressive at all. You have to play the way they want you to. There's like no playstyle diversity or expression in that game at all. It's stand there and parry, because if you try to do anything else, the game punishes you for it. That's what I can't stand about it. You dumb down the combat so much. And like, that's whatever, but don't make it just straight worse in every way. Like, even like not even talking about the combat, because obviously that's more of a niche thing to want like really advanced, deep, sweaty combat. I get that like not everybody cares about that, but even the quality of life of the game, like outside of anything involving the combat or the gameplay, is like worse than Neo 2 and Stranger of Paradise. So a lot of things about that game just make no damn sense. They give you the bow and the arrow and you can't use it. You can't refill it. You have to go all the way to the storehouse to do it. And like the loot drops are worse too. I heard people say they played through the entire game twice, and they've only gotten five pieces of the best gear. Now, it's normal for that to happen in Team Ninja action RPGs, but not to that extent. It was always worth playing the second playthrough. It just wasn't worth. It wasn't worth like grinding for hours. Because every time they do DLC, they power creep. So if you play like 300 hours before the first DLC drops, it's just going to be a waste of time. Like they're going to make the game a lot better. They're going to add like more gear and more builds and stuff. It's just actively a waste of time. But I think this one has the worst launch date out of all of them. I played them all. I put like a good like 600 plus hours into those games across all of them. The state that game is in compared to the other ones at launch, I'm not talking about their final state, like when they don't get updates anymore, but like when they first released, that one has like the worst. That one has like the worst launch date for sure. The polish, their performance, and like end game grind is needlessly grindy. First, I was like, maybe people are just shocked that there's nothing to do when you beat it, but they made the loot, like, they said that there was going to be less loot, but that's true to a fault. You shouldn't be playing through an entire 20-hour game twice and only have, like, 5 pieces of gear. Like, you might as well not even have the loot at that point. The loot is supposed to keep you playing, and it drops like once every 5 hours on average, then that's a pretty garbage gameplay loop. None of the other ones have been like that. It's always pretty much been just like, gotta like limit how much you play. You gotta limit how much you play those games at launch, because you'll get burnt out and all your stuff will get power crept. So you don't want to like actively waste time. I'm sure they'll make it better. I'm glad I still bought it. Just when it is fixed, I'll play it. But I have like not really any desire to play it right now. It's just a boring game. It doesn't have what I'm looking for. Combat depth is just non-existent. Well, that's the thing about Wo Long, is some of the complaints are from people that haven't played those games before, and they like don't understand like why do you go through the game again and there's like nothing changed. It's like, well, in Team Ninja games, all that stuff happens after you beat it. It all happens after you beat it. After you beat it once. It's just weird to go backwards. Like, the loot is worse. You can't find anything. The drop rates are awful. And, like, the New Game Plus doesn't change anything. That was what was cool about Stranger in Paradise, is they, like, stopped doing the whole thing where you have to play through the story, like, 4 times. That got really boring. But then with Wo Long, you just go back to that again. Play through the same game again with not even any loot drops. So it's pretty much just stats. They should have like less New Game Plus modes and make them more unique. I think the way they did it in Stranger in Paradise was way better. They only wanted 2 full story playthroughs out of you in that game, which made it so much better. I wouldn't have put like 200 hours into that game if I had to play that story 4 times. Like, nope, that would have been uninstalled ages ago. Stranger in Paradise sucked at launch too, but it was still a better quality of life than Wolong does, which is ironic because it came out after that in Neo 2. Yeah, I saw the ending already. No, don't expect a good story from Team Ninja. You're gonna get combat and loot. You're gonna get combat and loot. If that's what you want, even Wolong, despite being much worse than their previous games that they've made like that, if that's what you want, then you'll be fine. If you want a compelling story, then do not play anything from them. Honestly, just skip the cutscenes. It doesn't help that they keep giving you a mute, like, perpetually stoned protagonist in those games after Neo 1. That's not helping things either. You can't really have a compelling story when the character you play is just kind of an avatar, just kind of stands around and looks high, doesn't do, like, really talk or influence anything. Like, you're just there to fight. That's it. Which isn't a bad thing, but it's weird to have, like, so many cutscenes when that's the core issue. You just can't have a good story with a mute protagonist. It always comes down to other characters around you have to be your mouthpiece. They have to talk for you. And your guy or girl just stands there and watches. That's how JRPGs got around that. Zelda, Chrono Trigger, the Persona games and stuff. Like, your guy doesn't talk. Other people have to talk for you. The difference is those games didn't have, like, full 3D motion capture cutscenes with voice acting, so it was easier. It's easier to get away with silent protagonists. It got harder. It got harder when graphics and cutscenes started to be, like, more realistic. Nickelodeon doesn't do Power Rangers anymore. It's on Netflix now. Which I would say is a good thing, but they're still fucking doing that 20-episode season thing, which is what's made them fall behind so much. But I guess it's not common for Netflix shows to have, like, 40 episodes. Most of their original content is, like, a lot less than that from what I've seen when they do seasons and stuff, but... Oh, the Cosmic Fury that's coming out in a few months, that one, the only Sentai footage they're using is the Zords from Q Ranger. Everything else is completely US footage, so I don't know why they're doing that. The new suits look awful. Suits look really fucking bad. It's cool that they're trying to do original stuff, like having a Red Ranger be female is pretty cool. I think that's something that's long overdue. Even Super Sentai has not done that. They've never done a full-time female Red Ranger. It's always, like, for a short period of time. or a 6th ranger. Never the actual like leader, main character. Kaoru from Shinkenger was basically that. She shows up at the end, but she's like not really the leader. She's only there for like 7 episodes. They're doing some cool stuff with it, but I don't know what the hell is going on with those suits. They look awful. Maybe they'll look better in action when you're not like straight look, just only looking at them and not like while they're moving around and stuff, but they look pretty bad. Hey, later, Sage. Yeah, if you want to game share, just text me. It's no pressure. Either do it or don't. He didn't hurt my feelings or anything. Okay, Mawagre, I'll tell you why the CG is bad. The CG is bad because they do not film in advance. Basically, the stuff that they show, like that episode that they showed, they filmed like last month. They're only like a month or so ahead of what's being currently shown. So the people doing the CG have like no time. They have like no time to do post-production. That's why Ultraman, if you watch Ultraman on the Ultraman channel, the special effects are way better. They shoot the entire thing in advance. So that's why the special effects are way better. The Super Sentai is on all the time. It's always on. So is Kamen Rider. Super Sentai's been on every week, barring preemptions for like sports and stuff, for like 50 years now. It's always on. But the problem is they're only like a month ahead of what airs every week. So that's why the CG looks really bad. That's why Don Brothers, if you watch that show, the footage of it, everybody says it's a great series. But then they have 2 CG Rangers and they look straight out of like some bunk ass like European bargain bin PS2 game. They look awful. It was a cool idea, but the problem with doing something like that is that they don't have... It's not that they don't have the budget. It's not that they don't have the budget, it's that they don't have time. When you look at stuff like other things that are on TV, you know, they film all that stuff in advance, and all the CG is done in advance, so... That's why that kind of thing can look better. Even lower budget stuff tends to look better than Super Sentai and Kamen Rider CG, just because there's actually time to do it. It's a common problem. It won't change pretty much. It's just how they make the shows. That's why, like, even Power Rangers has better CG on, like, a similar or smaller budget. Because they shoot it all in advance before it airs. Like, the actors have been back from filming Cosmic Fury for, like, 2 months now. It hasn't even aired yet. So think about how much time they have to actually do the post-production, all the special effects and stuff. They have, like, months and months to do it. Whereas with the source material, the Sentai and the Rider, they have, like, 3 weeks. It's less than a month. See, my problem with them going all out with the production values is that it never keeps up. It never does. It's very common for like the first couple episodes of those 2 shows to have like really crazy effects and stuff, even if like the CG is still shitty because of the reasons I just explained. They have like crazy gimmicks and stuff that they do, and then they drop them because they're too expensive. Very common. Like, people are wowed by the production values of it. I'm like, it's gonna go away by like episode 10. I'm not gonna keep doing that. They never do. Same thing with Kamen Rider, riding the bike. Like, riding the bike in Kamen Rider, they like can barely ride the bike anymore because there's laws in Japan regarding modified bikes being used in like public streets and stuff. So they have to like, I guess, section off areas for filming. So they generally do that at the beginning when they like have to sell the bike. But then like by like the 10th episode, they stop using the bike. That's why some people call it Common Runner, because they kind of just there's nothing they can do about that. That's not even the way that they make the shows. It's just it's because it's in Japan. That's a law that was passed. That's why if you watch Kamen Rider, they like barely use the bike. Yeah, I don't like the King Oger suits. They look really cheap. I'm not gonna lie. I'm with you there. They look really cheap. I don't think they really stick out, but I think they're wanting to play it safe because the CG Rangers and Don Brothers were memed to hell and back. How awful they look. It's not like it's uncommon to have characters in TV shows and movies to be like completely CG. That's pretty much what the Marvel movies are, right? They have like some guy with a cheap like motion capture costume on, and then they render a model over him. It's just that obviously they have time to do that with Marvel movies. if they had like 3 weeks to render like Thanos and stuff and the Hulk in Marvel movies, they would probably look like how they look like in Super Sentai. It's funny to think about. It's not like it's uncommon to have characters that are like just CGI, but it was a stupid idea. People seem to really like Don Brothers, but every time I see footage of that and I see those Rangers, I just can't take it seriously. I'm sorry. I cannot take it seriously. I've played like shovelware PS2 games with better graphics than that. I don't know what possessed them to think that was a good idea. They basically have to crunch to even get those episodes out. They have less than a month before anything they film gets aired. That's why Ultraman is kind of better than Sentai and Rider for special effects, because they actually have time to make it. Also, Ultraman is like half the length of a Sentai or Rider season, so they can stretch their budget a lot farther. They're making like 25 less episodes. Yeah, all that will stop. All that will stop. They do that too. They do that to reel people in, but they can't keep that up. Now you know why. These are very common things, but you don't know them when you enter the fandom. Like, why do things look so bad? It's like, there's your answer. It's like if I was told to make, like, a combo video for something, like, 2 weeks before the game came out, and it was like an 80-hour JRPG or like a Tales game or something. Like, you can't. I couldn't make something like that in that time frame. Even if it only took like a couple hours to actually like edit the video, just playing the game would take like a lot of time. Even if I played like 6 hours a day, that's pretty much what they do. I kind of wish that they would change it. They would do like less episodes and like actually give people time to make the special effects, but they don't want to do that for some reason. Which is funny because that they got memed about that on Kamen Rider Saber as well. I don't like the Don Brothers suits. They look awful. Even not the CG, the non-CG ones. They just don't look like they have any kind of cohesion. They're just kind of there. Don Brothers Pink Ranger. Yeah, it's funny because he's like one of the favorite characters of that season. How complex he is and stuff, but then he turns into like a PS2 like peon from Dynasty Warriors every time he fights. It's like very hard to take it seriously. But yeah, there you go. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch over to PC now. So you guys can keep a tab open. I will be right back. I feel like doing a little bit more gaming, but I'm out of stuff to do on the phone. So I'll see you guys in a few minutes.